Pets and husbands, ever wonder how you can keep your house clean? Call today about our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
The Weather Channel, your hurricane authority. Now, your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees with showers. The National Weather Service has issued a weather bulletin. Our local Doppler radar. For tonight, windy with showers and thunderstorms. Low 78. Winds south-southeast at 25 to 35 miles per hour. And on Tuesday, windy with showers and thunderstorms. High 85. Winds south at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Rainfall possibly over 1 inch. And Tuesday night, showers and thundershowers likely. Low 77. Chance of rain 70%. Rainfall possibly over 1 inch. The week ahead.
Good evening, everyone, from wet Naples, Florida here, where Collier County, Lee County, and pretty much all of Florida really ready for this thing as Governor Christie gives the state of emergency on Saturday. That allows the local level to just do what they need to do. That's exactly what they've done here tonight. Obviously anticipating the worst and really so far getting the best. But that has not been the case on the east side, which is typical of a lopsided storm. Let's go to my colleague Stephanie Abrams in Lake Worth, way over on the other side of Florida there. Stephanie, you've been really taking it on the chin with the wind and the rain. Not so bad, but I mean worse than what we're having here near the center.
As you mentioned, all the rain is on the east side of this thing. A lot of people might say, why is Abrams on the east coast of Florida? This thing's making landfall on the west coast of Florida. It's because we're still feeling the effects of it. We're getting the impacts. Finally getting a little bit of a break from the rain, but we got nailed a little bit earlier today, and the wind is a little bit on the breezy side as well, but we anticipate this to be more of a rain event for us here on the east coast of Florida. So let's talk about that rain and show you the radar picture. And you can see we have rain moving through now, but we are going to get a break from the rain. That's until more bands rotate northbound, but we need the rain. Lake Okeechobee is 3 feet below average, and look at this, just picking up while I'm talking. So why don't we put the hood on, because it's not really fun to get wet. I know we get wet, but I don't want to get nailed with it. There we go. Okay, let's continue talking about this. Down into South Florida, rain is also coming down as well. This is going to continue overnight as we head into the day tomorrow. Tornado watch for a big chunk of South Florida till 11 o'clock. We actually have a couple tornado warnings, one in Broward County, also one in Collier County. There is the threat for flooding as well, especially in those flood-prone areas. So let's talk about the path of this thing and how so many of us are being affected outside of this cone. We talk about it all the time. Don't pay attention to the center of the cone, because you could end up like me, outside the cone and getting more rain than places on the west coast. So it's something to keep in mind here. You can see West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, down to Miami, getting rain, going to continue to get rain. We've already picked up actually a couple inches of rain, as a matter of fact, here. So, Jim, we anticipate this to continue overnight into tomorrow, as you know. And, of course, it was right on cue, Jim. It was no rain. I start talking, and it starts pelting me again. It's funny.
Yeah, see that Mother Nature has a way of getting even with you, doesn't she, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Steph, let's just go back to the late last week when we looked at a lot of these computer models. We're like, holy cow, it's blowing this thing up. It's going to make a major hurricane out of it, possibly affecting Florida. And, you know, the good news is that kind of got everybody, you know, jump-started a little bit. But don't you think the caveat in this whole thing is all these weird tracks are because the center was really never visible or succinct until today?
Well, that's what I was saying, that tropical storm, the center of Tropical Storm Fay has been evasive. And I was talking to Mike Bettis about this last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but maybe you can weigh in on it now. We were looking at this thing saying, why aren't they making this a tropical depression? Of course, it jumped right up to tropical storm. It skipped that tropical depression phase. Why aren't they calling it? Why aren't they calling it? And one of the main reasons is we did not see that surface low pressure. It was up in the mid levels of the atmosphere, and you need a surface low in order to call this thing a tropical storm. So, Jim, it's been very evasive, very hard to point out, so that, of course, has made the models have a really tough time. If you have a good system with a lot of information, it's a lot easier to forecast.
And you've got to wonder, Steph, where we go from here. Does it go off the coast, intensify? Does it just get sucked in and give the southern Appalachians some great rain? Do you think we'll still be covering this by the end of the week?
I think so, yes. Unfortunately, if you look at the models, but again, we're just now starting to see that eye, Jim, on the radar picture, and it's looking pretty distinct now. But again, it's had such a hard time from the beginning. It moves through Florida. How does land affect it? I mean, that's always something that comes into play, how the land affects it. So it's going to be interesting to follow this thing through the week.
Yeah, and that's been it too, Steph. Every time it's had a chance, it's hit land. So that's been the saving grace for this thing. Alex and Paul, that wraps it up from Lake Worth and Florida, east and southwest side. It's a rainy night. Hopefully, by the time all is said and done, beneficial rains at that. Back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, hey, it is only Monday, but Fay could be in our hair perhaps for much of this weekend.
As they were just mentioning, still ahead, the very latest on Fay as it stirs up trouble on up and down the Florida coast. See if your area will be impacted. When we come back, I'm going to walk you through the entire country, coast to coast, in the Weekly Planner. That's coming up next at 20 past.
And we're still watching Tropical Storm Fay. Again, the center is offshore, but the heaviest rains continue to pound parts of Florida. Expect more rain throughout the day Tuesday.